Good afternoon, folks. It's Donald McQuacken here, and we're here at the 6 Mile Water in Ballyclare for the inaugural Ulster Grenadiers duck race, and we're just about to begin here. Go ahead, boys, stick around. There we are, all the ducks now safely in the water and successfully manoeuvring themselves down the water. And we've now begun. So we're hurtling down. There's one straight out of the blocks at quick pace. I think that one's from Lauren, making the most of his 3 webbed feet there. So you'll have to bear with me in the camera work as we follow these ducks down. There is approximately 1,000 of them down there, and if your duck is one of them, good luck in today's festivities. So we'll move down here a wee bit before we see them come around the first bend. Along this course now we have a couple of obstacles, Drumcree 1 and Drumcree 2, and we'll see if they can successfully negotiate beside that. So here we go. There's the ducks now coming down now, all looking well. The pace is now starting to quicken up as they come round this bend, and it gives me an opportunity now to talk you through what we have in store then this afternoon. So the ducks have been started there at the one end of the 6 Mile Water on that bridge, and they will make their way round the course across a couple of obstacles, as you can see, and they will now be making their way down to the finish line where Big Ken Duffo, the organiser of today's race, will be waiting to declare the winner. And of course, the winner of the first duck across the finish line will win £1,000. Great prize on offer. And if you're struggling to find what you would do with £1,000, why not get yourself up the Sandy Road? Look out for an establishment called Marks and Bound Supplies. Poke your head in there through and you'll see a boy called Davy. He'll greet you with a big smile, a cup of tea, a biscuit, and he can give you a few ideas on what to spend your money on. So we are coming down. There is a clear winner at the minute, and it doesn't look too healthy by the looks of things, but it's making its way down, and we'll be going through the first obstacle of Drumcree 1 here at the minute, and we'll just have a wee look to see how we're going to negotiate themselves through that. Okay, so there's a clear leader at the minute, and it's certainly setting the pace. That's duck from Lauren. It's 3 webbed feet have obviously been put in good use, and they're on their way. So there we go. All the ducks now coming down. There is a couple now that seem to be struggling somewhat. A couple of them look absolutely ducked at the minute, but we'll take our way down here to see if we can go down to see the first obstacle, which is of course Drumcree 1, and see if they can all successfully negotiate their way through. There you go, they're all the way through, and this one is clearly winning. Now I don't have the binoculars out at the moment, so I can't tell you exactly what number it is, but it is a clear winner at the minute. There's about Jesus, now there must be about 20 lengths between them. 20 feather lengths, I must say, between them. And everyone seems to be going rather successfully at the minute. Of course, Big Ian Scott's duck, he has decided that he is not interested in the £1,000 prize, and instead he is concentrating to try and win the booby prize, which is of course a crispy duck meal from a Chinese takeaway, and he has been preparing his duck accordingly, and has put him on the same diet as Big Ian, coming from Tuckmona. That includes a weena bat pasties, butty chippies, and a weena sausages battered. And the poor duck, seen him earlier, it looks a well overweight duck and is now struggling, I think. We've got St Donald's ambulance on standby should any ducks get into any difficulty. And now going towards the leader is now a couple of ducks in contention, as we can see here. as we start to proceed down the river to Drumcree 2, our second obstacle of the day. And we also have a bit of a fun day within the duck community today. There's a couple of ducks there now have decided to dress up for the day. We have a duck from Bangor, has dressed up as a swan. We have a duck from Donaghadee who has decided to dress up as a RNLA lifeboat. And we have a Anderson duck there has decided from East Belfast that he's going to dress up as a big green chicken. So there you are. So we're now approaching now what is now known as one of the big obstacles. That's Drumcree 2. And as you can see, this is going to be a pretty daunting obstacle for the ducks. There's the leader at the minute, followed by the chasing pack, as it were. And we're about to negotiate its way through the first or the second obstacle, which is Drumcree 2. So here's the first duck approaching now, taking its time, picking its way through, and it's gone down there. Lovely. It's picked a now. We could get St Donald's ambulance out here pretty quickly. There's a couple of ducks that found themselves in difficulty here now as they all get round. This will sort the leaders from the chasing pack, I'm sure. Excellent. Ah, now there's one breakaway. He's got him through successfully, and on he goes down the river till he finds obstacle number 3, which of course is Drumcree number 3. Let's see all the other ducks coming safely down the river now. Fine contingent of ducks making their way down. So the race is well underway, and the breakaway leaders have found themselves through the second obstacle and starting to break away from the chasing pack. But of course there's another obstacle coming up, and that might change the format of this race as we go on. There we go. It's at times like this here now. I wish Big Duffo, who organised this whole bloody thing, had got me an expert for a co-commentator. For I don't know much about the ducks, you know, but yes, it would be beneficial for me to know, or to have somebody with me to give us a bit of expert analysis while the race goes on. But speaking about boys who know a lot about ducks, big mention to Big Steve, the bass drummer from the Grenadiers. He's a keen follower of ducks, but ducks of a different kind. He's actually 7 feet tall and regularly has to duck through the door. So big mention to Steve. Well done, Steve. Hope you're well, sir. And yes, now there's about 2 or 3 ducks here now who have just started to get themselves away from the chasing pack. That last obstacle has started to create a lot of gaps in the whole pentathlon. We'll try and get you a shot of them all coming down. Very good. And so at this start of the race that we are now starting to see some of the ducks struggle. There's a couple of them that look absolutely ducked, and there seems to be a ween of elderly ducks who have decided to give up by the looks of things, and they've opened themselves a carry-out, and entrancely they are owned by Carrick Fergus's oldest band, the Carrick Defenders, so no bloody surprise there of what they're doing. Now the pace of the whole ducks seem to have slowed down. I think that first obstacle has took the wind out of their beaks, and a few fellers have been ruffled as they make their way down. They're not so hurried to get down this next obstacle as we are coming up to Drumcree 3. Taking their time after made several mistakes in that last jump of Drumcree 2, and it seemed to have put the fear of God in most of them. And a couple of ducks laying behind there. St Donald's ambulance has attended the scene and they're getting them back to health again. So not far down now till we reach Drumcree 3, and after that that'll be a straight run to the finish line where Big Ken McGormy, or Big Ballyclare Duffo as we know him, will be waiting at the finish line. And of course Big Ken, as the organiser of this whole event, he's the brains behind it all. And of course he's widely referred to in the local sheep community as the big sexy shepherd. And you might actually pick his ducks out because he's them covered in cotton wool by looks of things, and they've got a wild nervous look about their face. But I'll let you draw your own conclusions about that, folks, as we now get the first duck coming towards the daunting Drumcree 3 now. It took several weeks to get through this here back in the day. We'll see how the ducks get on. So we are vastly approaching this now. They are taking their time this time. It's as if they know this is going to be a tricky one. They went in it at a fair rate of knots so last time and ended up in a desperate state of affairs. I think there was a few ducks dropped. There we go now. Making our way down. Let's see this now. The first duck approaches. This will obviously put a bit of a spanner in the works here as they go down. And the first duck is safely through, and he is away. He is away. He's away like a fart in a hurricane, that boy. He is flying. That's going to take some stopping for this one now. Don't have the number on it, but if you have this duck, it could be yours. £1,000 up for grabs now, don't forget, folks. Let's see how the rest of them get on. This could be the chance for this one to get away. There's a chaser. Not much between them now. But this seems to be pushing gaps between the leading pack and the ones who have just give up. And looks like things are just sauntering down out of no interest. Maybe they've been tucking into Big Scotty's diet as well. There we go. Safely through a few of them. That's it. Now, they should keep a careful eye on who's coming last, because don't forget, folks, there's a booby prize. I know Big Ian Scott's got his eye on it, but and has trained his duck accordingly, but it could be yours, and a consolation prize or a free crispy duck meal out of the Chinese takeaway. So the ducks have now made their way down the river now after that last obstacle, and we'll just catch up with the leader here because it is making vast progress down the river. And this, of course, being the inaugural Ulster Grenadiers Flitban duck race, and of course bringing many celebrities to the race today. We have Big DJ Kick Kicker all the way from Radio Quaker in Ballymena. He's here. We have Jack and Vera Duckworth from Coronation Street, and we also have a couple of American presents here today in attendance. We've got Bill the Baker Clinton, and we have Donald the Duck Trump, who looks as if he's been enjoying a nice pint of Sauvignon. Of course, his own homemade remedy to combat COVID-19 now. I'm just going to take us down to the finish line because we're nearly there. We're nearly there now. A couple of dogs now looking to eat these ducks. Now, we are preparing for the winner down here at the finish line now. Ours Big Ken, the sexy shepherd. And here we go now. Here, down here, there's neck and neck here, or beak to beak as it were. And we've got the first one. He has led the whole way, this fella. And he is stuck. The duck is stuck. And there he is. He's through the hole. No, he's not. There he is. There's your winner, folks. There's your winner. What number is it, Duffo?
379, I think it is.
What's that? Somebody read the number of that duck.
379.
379. So if you are the owner of duck number 379, you have won yourself a cool £1,000. Well done to you and congratulations.
Oh, there's a dog. The dogs are at them.
Oh, their dogs have now started to put the...
A few ducks got lost there.
Absolutely, there's a few. There's St Donald's ambulance will need to be on board there. There's a duck that has been ate to death there by looks things. And I suppose we'll have to keep video now to see who gets the booby prize. As I said, Big Ian Scott has been preparing his duck for... He's no interest in winning the £1,000 and would rather the Chinese takeaway. And we'll just have to see who comes last to see who can claim that prize. And of course, this duck race has brought many duck race teams about the place. We have a team all the way from Ballymallard, who all the way from Enniskillen, who had to get up at a quack at dawn there this morning to get down here in time for the race to begin. We also have, interestingly enough, we also have a team entered by a Chinese takeaway, and they like to refer themselves as the Prawn Quakers. So they do. And you'll pick them out, folks, because they're the ones that's wearing the masks. And speaking of wearing the masks, we have a couple of shifty looking ducks here as well, who I've been reliably informed have been recently released from prison for burglary, and they refer themselves as the Robber Duckies. So they do. And of course, our last team that was entered there today was our very own Ulster Grenadiers, Derry Geo, McWa and Magua. And of course, Gary McWa, he works down in the Maiden City, and Magua is the owner of a chain of Turkish kebab shops about Derry, namely the Derry Donor. So we're just about collecting all the surplus. There's a couple of ducks there who have just give up. There's ducks to the left, ducks to the right, and ducks that have just decided to stop for a... And I hope one of them's not mine. Now, after the last obstacle there, now we should see a couple of ducks in the formation of the Mighty Ducks, who of course were made famous by the Ulster Grenadiers Drum Corps on the 12th day. And leading them is our very own Grenadier trucker, Alan McCullen, who has decided to install a new Scania engine and portrait of Shania Twain and his duck to give it plenty of poke. And unfortunately, Alan can't be here today. He is assisting the police in their ongoing investigation into 47 Taiwanese people being found in the back of his Volvo. And good luck to Alan answering those questions, and hope you're home in time for supper, for Linda says you're dead if you're not. So I'm just going to ask the organiser here, can you see ducks up there? Are we nearing the last one coming down here, Duffo? There's a few yet now, there's a couple now.
You can go to a commercial break if you need me.
Well, I might go to a commercial break here, but the Defender ducks up there have just stopped for a carry out up there. I'm not sure if they're intending to finish the race. So we're still waiting here on the last few ducks coming down. A few have been stuck there. They're obviously also been trained by Ian Scott so they can get the takeaway. And The sexy shepherd has now entered the water to try and give the struggling ones a hand. Namely the ones wrapped in cotton wool. They may look nervous now because Duffle's approaching. And of course our two operators here to stop the plastic getting into the wildlife. Ed's of course recovering from a bout of jaundice. Hope you're recovering well, Ed. What are we up? What will like up there now, Ken? One member of the dairy duo here is obviously counting the number of ducks here, so we know there's none caught up there. And while Big Duffo is getting the rest of them ducks out the road, we'll take a commercial break and be back for the final part of the race, where we will see who will win the crispy duck meal out of Chinese takeaway. So back in a minute, folks. Right folks, and you join us here at the last part of the Ulster Grenadiers duck race. The last couple are now floating their way in. One of them seems to be a member or owned by the member of Carrick Defenders, who have given up the carry-out and decided to finish the race. The other looks as if it's Ian Scott's, who has struggled. It's already had a defibrillator applied by the St Donald's ambulance. So there we are.
721.
721. So if you are the owner of duck number 721, congratulations, you've won yourself a crispy duck meal out of the Chinese takeaway. And congratulations to the winner of the duck race, which was number 379. Congratulations, you are the winner of £1,000 sterling. And don't forget, if you're struggling of how to spend it, get yourself up to Sandy Row Merchant Bound Supplies and speak to Davy. And that's the end of the race today, folks. J.R. Hartley's just going to sort out the rest of the course, make sure nothing's untoward. And congratulations once again to our winners, and I'll see you next year at the next Ulster Grenadiers Flip On Duck Race. All the best.